So you're thinking about moving to Huntsville, Alabama in 2026? Well, you need the most up-to-date information to make the best decision possible. So in today's video, I'm gonna be updating you on what's changed this year, things that you need to know before moving here later this year. So starting off with number one on the list, what is going on with housing, right? This is probably the line item that affects you the most. So let's dive right into it. So I could give you the headline number that housing is up for the city of Huntsville 1% or so, 1.9% year over year. And that tells you absolutely nothing. So let's actually dive into the numbers further to look at what's relevant to you moving here. If you are looking at new construction homes within the, say, $500,000 to $800,000 price range, can you believe it? You lost an entire bedroom this year. It's crazy. So when we look 2 years back to now, you've lost about 150 square footage. That's a lot of square footage in that price point. The fact that it's still that price point means it's actually gone up a lot more in price than the market average. You know the other thing that you lost? As if house lots couldn't get any smaller. Guys, they did it. They did it. You went from an average median, you went from a median lot size of around 0.39 acres, which is tiny as it is, down to 0.3. I didn't know they could make them any smaller than that. So you've lost a room and you've lost 25% of your land on a new build. You know what's even crazier? You think that interest rates are high, so builders are doing all these deals, and they are doing a lot of great deals, but the average has dropped $1,000 from about $6,000 on average in incentives back, and when we look 2 years back, to $5,000 within the last year. So a lot has changed there. Builders are basically able to, you're getting less house, you're getting less land, and you're getting worse incentives. That's why you need our team to help you get every incentive that you can when you're getting a new home. So that's enough about new construction. What about pre-existing homes? So remember, Alabama's a buyer beware state. A couple extra steps you need to do, protect yourself as a buyer and due diligence. But when you look at resale homes, the story is actually completely different. So you are seeing days on market going up. That's phenomenal for you relocating here because that means you don't have to rush as much. You might get time to fly out here and actually look at the house before you have to put an offer on it sight unseen. Surprisingly, we've seen the price per square foot tick down just a little bit. So when you look at net of inflation, resale homes, they've got some advantage to them if you know how to work them. And the lot sizes are bigger than they were 2 years ago. So that means a lot of these older homes on bigger lots are coming available. So that's kind of a quick update on what's going on with housing. All right, so that's covered housing. But the next question I know that you have is what's going on with cost of living? Because hey, you know what? That can make or break a lot. So cost of living, a few things have changed here recently when it comes to cost of living. I mean, everywhere in the country has been dealing with fuel prices going up. So you're seeing a big uptick in transportation costs. That's also leading to to utilities as well. And yeah, all the things about data centers, we've got more and more trying to come into the area. So not just that, but you've got the rest of the new homes being built out here, more strain on the utility grids. Now, fortunately, we don't have frequent rolling blackouts or brownouts like other parts of the country, but we are seeing utility costs creep up, mainly due to the oil prices, but also all this extra demand. So that is your big category that's changed, but there's another one that's changed too. So taxes. The state of Alabama did a referendum. They stopped taxing groceries for a little while to help out with the increase in fuel costs. That's back, that's gone, that's going back to normal. But the city of Huntsville specifically, they're looking at special tax zones to help help support the growth. So depending on which parts that you're going to be looking at in those downtown areas, taxes are going up for, it's a special TIF, it's a special tax plan to help revitalize parts of the downtown, invest more in the Von Braun Center, and the local infrastructure. So spontaneous financing is what they're thinking. We'll charge this area higher taxes to continue supporting this area to bring more revenue. So that's a change on the cost of living. The other change is, and this is a huge one when it comes to property taxes, is the state passed a cap on how much it can go up each year. So the HB something or another, put on the screen. What that means is property taxes can only go up 7% a year from the year prior. Now, Alabama has really low property taxes. That's why so many people like to end their career here, and it really can give you a jump start on retirements. If you're about 10 years out, it really can be a great haven. But this just helps even more. It caps that growth at 7%. And so you have more time to catch up. And with the explosion in real estate prices, like we've all seen in every market since the COVID era, this helps provide a lot of relief to to homeowners. So it's a good thing. Although I know a lot of people get worried when they see, well, they can go up by 7% a year. Yeah, but if you're talking $1,000, that's $70 a year. That's better than doubling, right? The next one, none of the rest of that matters if you still need a job. So what's going on in the job market? Well, it's kind of interesting, actually. So we're seeing unemployment creep back up. It's still really low, like 2.9%, but it is going upwards. A lot of that, when you look at the official Bureau of Labor Statistic data, it's due to downward trends in manufacturing and downward trends in government work. I know a lot of you are relocating here for government work. If you're in those high demand fields, it's really interesting because you've got the new FBI training center, you've got more FBI agents coming out, you've got Space Command, you've got a lot of growth here in the Huntsville for the federal jobs, but you're still seeing net government losses from the year prior. Just goes to show how much that budget's been slashed as far as headcount. But still, you're looking at a good, generally speaking, a good employment. So that's kind of an overview of the employment situation, but what about earnings? We're in a low cost of living area. Does that mean you have to take a massive pay cut? Well, according to Bureau of Labor Statistic data, if you are a mechanical engineer or a logistician, this is actually an area where you're above the median. Bureau of Labor Statistic goes back to 2025, but you can see that trend that you're above the median hourly earnings for the US, which in a low cost of living area is going to feel like a lot more. Interestingly enough, for a rocket city, if you are an aerospace engineer, you're looking at the average hourly rate of about $65 an hour, which is $3 below the US average. So a little bit of a pay cut there. You're going to really need to crunch those numbers. We got a full cost of living video that you can go check out later, but you're going to need to crunch those numbers to see if Huntsville, on average, you're about 9% below cost of living according to US average. So just compare your city, see if that little bit of a pay cut is going to be worth it to you to come out over here. Okay, so new developments. There has been a lot of new developments here in Huntsville. Just this year, we finally got an IKEA. It's a little one. You know, I haven't even been there yet, but it is a smaller one than when I was over in Virginia. It was a massive one there. But we got a new IKEA, and the city's been putting a lot of investments. You're seeing the mid-city area continue to grow. Lots of new restaurants opening up. I love my Japanese cuisine. Feeds my Asian side very nicely. And you've got more and more of those restaurants popping up, which is, I like some sushi and ramen. And you are seeing that the city, they're trying to do a $200 million proposed renovation to the Von Braun Center so that it can better compete with other venues for top talents. So that's one of our big drivers here. They're realizing they need to put a lot more money into this. But another new development as well is the city is opening up more schools. There's a new middle school coming in, there's a new elementary school coming in. With all these people relocating to the area, the school systems are getting strained, so they're having to put some more in. So what that means is school district rezoning. So something you pay attention to if you've locked into a particular school district that you want, really you verify that those houses are still zoned for, those neighborhoods are still zoned for those school districts. All right, so number 5, changes in traffic and commute times. This is a pain point still. Highway 72 is still not sufficient for all the traffic. 2-lane roads, one either direction, you get a wreck, boom, you've just backed up. You just added 30, 40 minutes to your commutes every single day. Even just getting through those choke points is adding half an hour. So a lot of pain still there. And then with all these new subdivisions, local residents are getting concerned that, rightfully so, that their 2-lane roads, one either direction, cannot support all these new houses, all these new developments of people relocating here. Actually, when you zoom out, the city is forecasting about 2,200 new residents a year for the next 50 years, and about 2,400 job gains. So a lot of people, more people come in the infrastructure, so they're coming out, using the roads, coming in. We still have an abysmal public transportation service. There is no trains. There is you're probably gonna be using Uber a lot. There are a couple of public transportation like buses, but it's not a well built out infrastructure. It's very drivable. You're going to be struggling for any alternative modes of transportation. So all that is bogging down the city, and with this growth, they're scrambling to figure out. So some of the improvements are being made. So the city recognizes the problems. They are commissioning a survey on 72 to see what can be done there, and we'll just see where that continues to develop. But as far as more and more, if you're going to be working there in Redstone or Research Cumming Park, any of those areas. If you are even in somewhere like Harvest, you might be looking at an hour-long commute, even though it looks so close on the map because of all these choke points. You gotta know what these traffic patterns are before you move here. And that's why you need our team here at Redstone Realty Solutions. We got your back when you're moving here to the area. We can help you understand the traffic, where the issues are, and get you in a place that you're gonna love and not a place that you're gonna be stuck in traffic every single day. So if you just give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, tell us a little bit what you're looking for. We'll help make this move as smooth as possible for you. So who cares about an area if there is nothing to do here? So what has changed as far as events and attractions, things to do? Well, in Huntsville, they has just opened up just did the ribbon cutting ceremony for an $18 million recreational facility that features pickleball, indoor basketball court, volleyball court, multi-use rooms, all climate controlled. Huge win for the city, huge win for the area. Other big wins is the city has renovated the old Grissom High School. They are doing a lot to make this into a performing arts center, so more investment there into the arts. Redoing the school's gymnasium for performing arts. Really exciting there. So a lot of cool developments coming here to the city just this year. So it's great. The city is understanding the growth, they're understanding the desires that people have here, and they are putting more and more into things to do. So with that being said, number 7, let's look at an updated pros and cons list for Huntsville, Alabama 2026. So updated pros, you got more dining options coming to the area, you got an IKEA, major win. You've got all these new recreational facilities, performing arts, pickleball. You've got, they are working on a traffic study with Limestone County, trying to figure out how to fix 72, but there's still cons and they're big ones. Number 1, hey, if you've got little kids moving here and you're gonna need daycare, my goodness, this city is so far behind on daycare services. We are so fortunate, my wife and I, she is able to stay home with our 2 little ones, so we've fortunately not had to deal with that, but our friends who have, it can be a tough wait list. If you're relocating, like you're gonna need to line up daycare services, like start it right away. You're gonna need to start on that, get the ball going on that right away, because you're seeing the wait list getting longer and longer. A lot of couples paying non-refundable deposits to get on the wait lists before they've even had their baby yet. So that is a huge lack still in the city. The other massive lack is, once again, all these new people moving to the area. The infrastructure is still lagging behind. No public transportation still. We're not seeing a lot of investment in those regards. And then a couple of other, there's been some developments, some lawsuits going on with manufacturers over PFAA chemicals or PFAAs in the water. So environmental hazards from, it's manufacturing based, this area from back in the day. And then you are also looking at in manufacturing slowdowns there. I've got friends who have been in the manufacturing. They have had their hours cut, second shifts reduced. Those so slowdowns there, and you're seeing that reflected in the net jobs, hiring freezes going on in a lot of these manufacturing plants. So it kind of goes back into that K-shaped economy that we have going on right now. You can see on the higher price points in houses and the higher price points for the area, things are doing well because people moving into those like you probably are have a house already that's done very well in a higher cost living area. You have retirement assets or assets that are doing really good. They're up, they could be up 20%, 30% over the last few years or more. And so you're having that wealth effect. And then if you don't have assets, if you're not an asset owner, it's kind of really sucky for you right now because everything's getting more expensive. So you're seeing that duality even played out over here in Huntsville. You're seeing tons of shifts to, in living to condominium style or apartment style homes as people are just giving up on home ownership, or it's just the hassle of it's not worth it to them. So you're seeing shifts that way with all these new developments, high density housing, especially over by the ball field, the Trash Pandas, that area, but even the downtown, just more and more high density housing going in. And if you are specifically working on Redstone Arsenal, they've been having frequently, Gate 3 has been being closed down due to staffing issues, which is frustrating so many workers over there because you've got all these new government agencies popping up, all these new workers coming in, and then you're funneling them all into, like, you're taking away gates for them to go through. That's adding to your commute time, adding to the frustration trying to get onto base, and it's funding issues. Like and so that's causing a lot. That's a big con that's developing. The frequent closings of Gate 3 or some of these auxiliary gates with staffing, with government shutdowns that are causing more friction there. And then just not having enough support on base to handle all these new, I mean, we're looking at adding like 70, 80, some FBI by the end of the year, a couple hundred in the first phases of Space Command, and just more and more coming in. So that's bogging down Redstone Arsenal. And then, you know, surrounding suburbs are not having a lot of fun with data centers. As you're uncorporated land, you're seeing more of those trying to pop up here in the cities, or especially in the cheap land, because hey, this is a low cost of living area. The surrounding counties are cheap when you get out in the country. And so that's been a struggle for local residents. Kind of update the pro and con list there. All right, so that's our update list for today. If you want a deep dive on more things that you need to know before moving here, click this video right over here, and I'll catch you on the next video.